I'm dedicating tonight's show to N Ron Runyon, who sadly lost his battle to cancer this past Sunday. Ron was an awesome guy and a dedicated fan of Decibel Geek podcast and rock in general. He would travel to these cruises and festivals like the Sweden Rock Fest and so on. He was a great guy and he will be missed. And I want to thank each and every one of you that donated when I went live on the Rock and Ronathon here on YouTube the past 2 nights. And the donations are not over, people. Please, if you can donate, I put a link to the GoFundMe in the description below. His family is now grieving, and it's the least we can do. If you have not donated, just anything will do, even $5, just anything in the GoFundMe below, and I will appreciate it, and so will his family. Rest in peace, N Ron Runyon. This one's for you.
You're watching FNN, the FUKK News Network.
This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers.
After I beat you and satisfy all the Hulkamaniacs, I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
Long way from being over, buddies. Absolutely, this is just warm-up right here.
Viewer discretion is advised.
This is Paul Stanley of KISS, and you're watching the FUKK News Network, the only news that matters. SHMACKEMAGOB.
SHMACKEMAGOB, it's time for the only news that matters, and I want to thank John Tyler for that SHMACKEMAGOB intro. I also want to thank Andrew Warhust for that You're Watching FNN intro. If you want to send a SHMACKEMAGOB intro, please send it to this email right here, and I will put it up in order it was received. Alright, now let's get into the only news that matters. Sebastian Bach says there is no reason why classic Skid Row lineup shouldn't reunite. Says we're not getting any younger. He also went on to say in the interview, they say he's difficult to work with, but he's saying, look, you guys haven't seen me in decades. How do you know I'm still difficult to work with? Well, the only thing they have to do is look at your Twitter. I'm willing to bet you're more annoying now than you were back then. You know things are messed up when they'd rather play phone booths than reunite with Sebastian Bach. Alright, next story. Ex-ManOwaR guitarist Ross DeBoss calls current version of ManOwaR mediocre. Says their output has been terrible. Now, I love ManOwaR, especially with Ross DeBoss. I mean, my favorite ManOwaR album was the last one he did with them, Kings of Metal. But I like some of the albums afterwards. But yeah, I gotta say, I have to agree with them when it comes to their last couple releases. Oofa, they were bad. Unlike what Ross DeBoss has been putting out, he's been putting out some really cool albums. My favorite will be his last one from last year, Born of Fire. Good stuff, man. Alright, next story. ABBA released 2 new songs from upcoming Voyage album, and the songs were I Still Have Faith in You and Don't Shut Me Down. And I listened to them. I'm a huge ABBA fan, and I'll be honest with you, when I heard I Still Have Faith in You, and when it kicks in, when Agnetha comes in, I started crying like a girl. Not gonna lie. It is so awesome, and so is Don't Shut Me Down. They both sound like they were recorded way back then. I mean, they haven't lost anything. I am so looking forward to that new album, Voyage, that after I saw the first song, I pre-ordered it right away. So after 40 years, ABBA is back. I'm very excited about it, but I'm not too excited about like this show they're doing. They're going to do a show where it's kind of like a younger them, kind of like a, what is that, like that hologram type stuff. I'll go see it. Don't get me wrong. I went to go see the Dio one, and I enjoyed it. Not, you know, the hologram was kind of weird, but I enjoyed the tapes they used for Dio's voice, and it was a good night out. So, yeah, you know, I'll go see this hologram ABBA show, but I'll still walk out knowing I never actually saw ABBA live. And it's such a shame that they have to do this, because, you know, honestly, we do live in a superficial world. So people love, you know, to see phony stuff. And honestly, you know, here's a picture of recent ABBA. Yes, they're much older, but I still find Frida and Agneta to be beautiful. Beautiful cougars. Grrr. I think they're gorgeous, and I'd like to see them go out live looking like this. I don't care. As for the other two, well, I'm not gay, so whatever. No, seriously, I am not gay. Just because I cried to an ABBA song does not make me gay. Yet. Alright, next story. The Ghost of Bonscott broke into your father's liquor cabinet, and then he stole some pet food to feed his cat. And he left behind a note that said, "Hey, get me out of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You have 24 hours. Or next time I'm coming back to break into the liquor cabinet again, and this time I ain't taking pet food. I'm taking your wife." Alright, next story. Matt Sorum doesn't wish he was still in Guns N' Roses. The universe intended something else for me, he said. What did the universe intend? For you to get food stamps? Are you just tired of those pesky stadiums and the boatload of money that you've never seen before or after Guns N' Roses? Yeah, sure you wish you weren't in Guns N' Roses anymore. You're as honest as Paul Stanley of Kiff and Nikki Sixx doing interviews. Speaking of Nikki Sixx, the bullshit artist has blasted the bottom feeder press, as he says, for sensationalizing his recent revelation that David Lee Roth turned down an offer to take part in the Motley Crue's stadium tour. In an article previewing Sixx's upcoming book, The First 21, How I Became Nikki Sixx the Bullshit Artist, the Los Angeles Times revealed that when Crue invited Diamond Dave to share the bill with them on their highly anticipated reunion tour, the Van Halen singer responded, "I don't open for bands that I influenced." A day after Roth's remarks were covered on Blabbermouth and other sites, Sixx took to his Twitter to write, "Media takes one sentence out of a new book and makes it a headline. Clickbait. I've come to despise bottom feeder press, ripping off fans to sell advertisement." Well, if anybody knows how to rip off fans, it's Nikki Sixx. With, "Hey, look, we're going to sign a contract that this is our farewell tour in 2015. So come see us, everybody. Rent hotels, travel. You got to see Motley Crue because it's the last time." 5 years later, haha, I got your money. And I don't know how true this is, but I saw this on some website that's a little sketchy, but it said something to the effect of Nikki Sixx told Vince to lose weight or he's going to get fired. I don't believe it. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to say that, but I kind of don't believe the story because you can't fire Vince Neal. I mean, there's no way. Motley Crue is all about money. Nikki is doing a reunion for money. He doesn't like Motley Crue music anymore. Neither does Tommy Lee or Mick Mars. Only Vince likes the Motley stuff. And you can't replace them. They replaced him with John Corabi and it didn't work. And by the way, on a side note, my favorite Motley Crue album is the one with John Corabi. But it didn't work. And I have seen fans say, you should take John Corabi out on tour instead of Vince. That's not what the majority wants, and Nikki Sixx cares more about the majority than the hardcores. So if he did tell Vince, I'm going to fire you if you don't lose weight, and if Vince doesn't lose weight, he ain't going to fire him, because Motley Crue will not work without Vince Neal. It has been proven. Nikki Sixx has the integrity of a crack whore. And also going back to David Lee Roth saying that he would never open up for bands that he helped influence. Well, he opened for Kiss now. I don't know if David Lee Roth has ever noticed or is in denial with how much he influenced Kiss in the 80s. I mean, maybe he saw that Kiss Animalized home video with Paul Stanley and his 501 jeans rap and all that really poor man David Lee Roth antics on stage, that he saw it and either he was embarrassed by it or was traumatized that it left his memory because Dave influenced Kiss in the 80s. Big time. Alright, next story. KK Downing said about Judas Priest, oh, you know what? I don't even want to talk about this. I mean, Please shut your yapper already. KK, I love you. I want you back in Priest, but you keep digging this hole. Talking about Priest every time you're in the press. I mean, Jesus, man. Stop. I mean, I guess it's too late for him to join Judas Priest now with all the bad mouthing he's done. But man, I wish he was back in the band. KK, be nicer. Man, offer your cock to Hoffer. Do anything. I was listening to Judas Priest Unleashed in the East the other day, and when Sinner came on, I was like, God, I missed this guy, man. Which, by the way, this Friday, I'm going to talk about Unleashed in the East. Anyway, I miss you, KK. And I wish you would shut the fuck up already. Next story. Gene Simmons once again is saying the fans killed the music business. Well, you know, I think the music business is what killing the music business. Because they are in bed with the streaming services like Spotify, getting a huge chunk of the pie that the artists are still not getting. So to blame fans for killing the music business, how long have fans been downloading music? What, 20 years now, or maybe even less? The record companies have been doing it since the dawn of record companies. So give it a rest already, man. What the fans has stole is not even a fraction what the record companies are still doing to this day. The record company are a bunch of jackal-ass bitches. Jackal-ass bitches is a quote I stole from the great Bill Wang. And as reported last week, Gene Simmons caught the COVID, but he's feeling better now. But he did release this picture when he was feeling like shit. Alright, final story. Sammy Hagar's Vegas plan. I really want to blow people. Well, what else is new? The guy has sucked forever. Well, that's it for the news, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Every week I ask you if you'd like to donate. I got a PayPal below. But this week, I would like for everybody to donate to the GoFundMe for N Ron Runyon, who just passed away on Sunday. His wife just lost a husband. His kids just lost a father. They're going through very difficult times with a lot of medical bills piling up. So anything you can donate, I would really appreciate it. So everybody stay frosty, listen to Black Sabbath, and SHMACKEMAGOB.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain.